Hello, and welcome to Wake Up and Roar. My name is Sally, and this is the first video of a series of videos around the subject of waking up, staying awake, and realizing freedom from suffering. What is it to suffer, and what is it to have freedom from suffering? In my understanding, in my experience, suffering is when we identify with our emotions and our thoughts. This gives us a very limited perspective, especially when we start to realize that most of our thoughts and feelings are part of a program. It's a program we're born into, and it's a program we develop along the way as we adapt to this world. When we're babies, we're born free of this program. We're innocent, we're pure, we don't perform, we don't project, we don't use our power in a way that's inauthentic. We're just pure, and we are naturally our true nature. But as we grow, something starts to happen. We start to take on the ways of the adults around us, the world around us. And this way that this world is very different from authenticity and purity. For reasons that I won't talk about here, our world is almost like a photocopy world. We're kind of living in a reality that lacks meaning. And many people are comfortable with that because it's all that they know. And that's okay. But once you awaken to something other, something more than your conditioned self, there's no turning back. You can't forget. You can cover it up, and I have done so many times, but deep down you never really forget what you saw. And if it means more to you than anything else, it will start to burn like a fire in your heart. I chose the name for this video, not this video, this whole YouTube channel, the name Wake Up and Roar. I chose it because it's the title of a book by my first teacher, Papaji. He lived in his late years in Lucknow, India, and 33 years ago, I, as a young 21-year-old traveler, stumbled upon him, and there I found a group of people, mostly Westerners, gathered around this old man, and they claimed that he was enlightened, and I was innocent and ignorant and didn't know anything about enlightenment. I had had a few glimpses of a deeper reality, things that started to open up for me about a year prior. So I was intrigued, and there was already a longing in my heart for something more than just getting married, having a career and kids. I just had this deep sense that there was more to life than that. And I just want to say up front, there's nothing wrong with your life being about getting married, having a career, and loving your children. It's a beautiful thing if you give all of your heart to that. But for some of us, we are compelled to find deeper meaning than that. It's like a calling that you're born with, maybe. I think we're born with, and ultimately we will all wake up, as Papaji said, if not this lifetime, the next, or the next, however long it takes you, to want to realize an end to suffering. Because when we're trapped and identified with our emotional body, we suffer. We are in a loop of chasing good feelings and avoiding negative feelings. We are caught in the loop of our thoughts, and when we wake up, we get distance from that. We somehow get some space from this conditioned self that we're familiar with, and that this whole world and everyone in it operates in, except for those that have woken up. And for me, that happened in the, thanks to the presence and the proximity to Papaji. I woke up and my response was laughter and crying, laughter and crying. I saw my whole personality and my whole psyche as this soap opera. There was all these characters inside of me, all with so much conviction for what they believe in and what they feel, and they take themselves so seriously. And when I had this awakening experience, I was immersed in a me completely other than that drama me. I was immersed in a self that was completely at peace, completely free of drama, free of attachment to the outcome of anything. There was a deep sense of well-being and quiet joy that didn't have anything to do with my surface life. It was free of anything that could possibly happen to me while I'm here as Sally. And my response was to laugh, because my personality seemed like a cartoon. It just seemed so ridiculous. And the fact that I took it so seriously seemed so absurd. And it caused me to laugh for hours. And then it would pulse between laughing and crying. And then I would sob and cry, because I realized how much I've been suffering for no reason. And I saw it all around me too, in everyone I know, that we live in this limited reality, and this beautiful diamond self that is made of pure love and connectivity to source, to everything. It's buried, and that broke my heart. Like, why is that? Came the question of like, but why? I knew this when I was a child. I can remember feeling like this, knowing this, and it's been years and years since I found it again at age 21, which is actually quite young to find it again. Some of us, we search and we search and we search, and we only find it later in life. So the people there around Papaji said to me I was lucky to realize my true nature at such a young age, because I could now go and live a real life. And I'm eternally grateful for that glimpse that Papaji gave me. And I was devastated when I found that it was an experience that passed over, and within a matter of weeks I was back in my old self, back in the drama, the suffering, identification with feelings and thoughts. And the way I kept it alive was to keep going back. I was lucky to have a living master who could feed that fire in me. And when he passed away, the only thing I thought to do was to go live at the ashram of Ramana Maharshi. I shaved my hair, I changed my name to the name Papaji had given me, and I kind of renounced my life, because it's all I cared about. It was like all I wanted was freedom. I had tasted it. I knew there was nothing else in this life for me. And so what else could I do? But within a few weeks, I was given a strong message that this is not for me. I need to go out into the world and be fully immersed in this world, and so I did. I ended up getting married, having kids, having somewhat of a career. It wasn't a full-fledged career because I was very sick for most of my adult life with Lyme disease, but I have kept the fire going, and freedom from suffering is my true love. It's my passion. It's what gives me meaning in life. And it's not that I have it all figured out and I'm a perfectly awakened being. I would say I have had many awakenings. They have continued to come to me over the years. The most recent one came with such a roar inside, a roar that rippled through, the whole universe, a power, a life force so strong, so alive, so connected to source and everything, and it just roared inside me, like it wanted to say, I have voice, I have form, I'm here. And so it took some courage for me to get up here and share what's been happening with me over the last 33 years. It's been an incredible journey, this journey of awakening. I don't think it will end for me in this lifetime. I don't think there is an end point. I think it's a continuous unraveling of this pure, true nature. It's multi-leveled, it's complex and simple at the same time. It's like coming into relationship with core me, a me that is unaffected by the ebbs and flows of good things, bad things, things going my way, things not going my way. I've come through 2 divorces, and still my heart is open and able to love again, and is now in a 3rd marriage. So this fire in my heart, this light, I could say it was pointed out to me by my first teacher, Papaji, and I have since had a lot of help from teachers that are living and teachers that are on the other side. I feel blessed that I've had so much help along the way to keep me steady on the path. It's like I have this compass that's pointed true north, and I just keep following, and it keeps me on track. And often I fall asleep and I forget all that I know. I get stuck, I get lost. It's a narrow path with many pitfalls and hooks and challenges along the way, and so I'm grateful for all the help I've received. I've needed it, and I want to offer that help to others. I'm a life coach, I'm a group facilitator, and yeah, it was clear to me that after, or even before taking my life coach training, I didn't want to just help people set goals and get all their dream life happening. It's my passion is about something so much other than that. It's about finding quiet joy in the midst of anything. I've had the gift of being chronically ill for so many years, sometimes bedridden. I have come to know quiet joy in the midst of that extreme difficulty. I've known quiet joy in the midst of a husband, being with other women and doing things that would just be your worst nightmare, taking drugs, and yeah, that was my first marriage. So I was gifted with finding the light within that experience. Somehow I was gifted with perspective that whatever comes my way, whether it's great, whether it's wonderful, or whether it's difficult, it's something to just be in. And that is like a muscle that I've developed over time, of to just let life happen, the good and the bad, and what is constant there, um, what is stable, what is okay in it all. And that part of me, the more I identify with pure me or my true nature, the more form it gets. So it does get easier. And some people have a spiritual awakening and they're completely changed forever. They never go back to their old ways. But in my case, and in the many people that I've witnessed being on a awakening journey, that's not really how it goes. It was a bit confusing in the beginning when I found myself back in my familiar conditioned self. It was like, did I do something wrong? Did I give it up? But I've come to understand that it takes time, it takes 1 second to have an awakening, but to integrate that awakening, to embody that awakening, that takes time, and it takes a lot of learning, it takes a lot of falling down, seeing what doesn't work, remembering what you knew. So in my personal coaching and in my workshops, what I do is I get people to talk about what they know, what they've seen, what they understood when they had a glimpse, when they had an awakening. What was the diamond there? What were they being? What was the qualities of that core self that they came into? Even if it was just for a few minutes, it's enough to know what you are. And once you know what you are, your life changes. And in some ways it gets more difficult because suddenly you don't fit into this world and you don't know really how to be authentic yet. You've tasted authenticity, but everyone around you is still playing the performance game, the nice game, the talking about things that actually don't really interest you. And it's hard to find your way in that. And it's been a learning for me to learn to be light in that and play in the shallow and to find meaning in the mundane, because ultimately we're here to integrate all of what we are, all of what we were before we came into a body, and what we will return to when this body dies. We're here to bring that into the human experience. And every moment of that I've managed to do that, I know will be what I cherish at the end of my life. It will be those times where I was real me, where I was authentic, where I was alive. And they might be few and far between, but those will be the real moments of my life. So I'm here for you if you find yourself longing for freedom. If you've had an awakening or not had an awakening, it doesn't matter. It's kind of like the ripening of a fruit. Everybody has their own timing, and for some it won't even happen in this life. It's not meant to. They're just here to live. And for others, it'll be a burning in your heart that you just can't get rid of, and you start searching, and you start longing, and you start knocking on doors, and you start trying things, and you realize nothing works, until finally you give it all up and you just end up falling into your true nature. That's how it can happen sometimes. It's different for everyone. I can't give a practice. I can't give a technique of how you can get there. It's much more magical than that. But I do know that if it's what you long for most, if you want freedom more than you want anything, more than you want a relationship or a great career, more than you want a happy life or an easy life, freedom from suffering does not mean freedom from difficulty. There's a very important distinction there. We are here to grow. I think we sign a contract before we're born. It's just a sense I have. I can't say I know it. It's almost like going on a field trip for the soul to learn, to evolve, to grow in difficulty. And so I've had a lot of help, and I think it moves a lot more quickly, this journey, if you have help. And so I will be showing up here for myself, for my own evolution, and for yours, hopefully regularly, sharing more about what's helped me. I have a lot of different skills. I'm a mind mapping expert. I have a psychology degree. I've been dipping into shadow work and Jungian philosophy, and I'm currently taking a training in IFS, Internal Family Systems, which I find is a beautiful piece of work that explains the whole interior in a really beautiful way. It helps you stand back from all the parts of ourselves that are engaged in different dynamics. So I'll be bringing a bit of that, a little bit of this, a little bit of that to each session. So I'll be bringing tips and tools to self-coach yourself into waking up and into freeing yourself of suffering. It really is possible. Like I said before, I don't claim to be 100% free of suffering. I still fall down. I still get stuck. But I know how to get my way out. And yeah, love to share it with you. So I'm available here on this YouTube channel, and I'm available also for one-on-one coaching. You can contact me at sessionswithsally7@gmail.com. And if you like this video, if it resonated with you, if you want to hear more, please leave something in the chat below. Give me some encouragement. It's quite something to speak out on social media. It took some courage to do. But I'm really happy to be here. It's been a long time in the coming for me to feel ready to share from a place that's humble, from a place that's not developing another ego, another identity of being a spiritual somebody. It's a lot more quiet and a lot more vulnerable than that. Simply, I've received a lot, and I'm ready to share. See you again. Bye for now.